what are you nerding out about now?
All right. You know what? We're going to change it up a little bit this week. Kurtstable,
Yeah.
you going to go first.
So, what I'm nerding out about this week. Let's see. We talked a little bit about it ahead of time, but I'm going to say I'm nerding out about the possibility that a live action Gargoyles series is going to be good.
Well,
I'm not enough to be cautiously optimistic yet, but I'm very hopeful.
I've only seen a poster, so I don't know who's cast. I don't know how it looks.
I don't either. And I honestly don't even care. I just don't want it to, what's the term? Stink on ice. Well, okay, look, I was trying to be nice, but because the cartoon was so good.
Yeah, it
so
was.
Good.
Yeah.
And it was really Disney's kind of first foray into serious storytelling.
Yeah.
From a cartoon standpoint. So, and then an all-star cast, and just it was so well done back in the day.
And the intro slaps even today.
Yes. Yep. And yeah, just multi episode storylines, and just yeah, everything about it was great. And they still managed to produce toys for it, which were also really good. So
I made sure that my two oldest kids saw all of them. I'm not sure if my two youngest saw them.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, and a lot of cartoons, their success is measured by their toy sales, not the actual show.
Right.
So, which is a shame, because there's been some fantastic cartoons that have been canceled because the toys just didn't sell well enough.
Right. Well, that's because they're not treated as real forms of entertainment. They're treated as advertising. Right. So,
yep.
Which has been my biggest problem. You know, I think that's part of the reason why. Ooh, hot take. Super Friends, not great. I
don't know that one.
Super Friends from the 70s and 80s.
Oh, with Spider-Man and the Flame Girl and Iceman?
No, it's the Justice League's, basically. I mean, it's Batman. It's Batman, Robin, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman.
Versus the Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
Why were they friends?
It was called Super Friends. Charles.
Did we just enter like an alternate reality or something?
Apparently.
Charles, are you telling me you've never heard of the Super Friends?
I probably
didn't
watched
it have
the
Wonder Twins too.
Yes, Wonder Twin powers activate.
That's the only good thing on that show. Meek and Gleek or whatever.
He got nothing out of it until we said Wonder
Twins. Yeah,
that was the worst part of the show.
That explains so much about you, Charles. It really does.
Well, I was going to say that was the worst part of the show, except it actually wasn't. The worst part of the show was Wendy and Marvin. From the first season.
No idea.
They weren't even aliens. They didn't have any powers.
Random friends.
They were just random kids that hung out with the Justice League.
I think one of the best things that did come from that, I recall, was like, back at the Legion of Doom.
Yes. And then, okay, so there is that.
Okay, so I've seen some.
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom.
Yeah. Something like yeah.
But
I tell you,
it wasn't a good cartoon. It was what we had.
Yeah. Spider-Man and Friends was also on, because that Spider-Man had Iceman and I don't know if it's Starfire.
Firestar.
Oh, not Starfire, Firestar. Okay.
Starfire is from DC. Firestar is from Marvel.
Gotcha. All right.
Nerd.
Crappy. Wait, you're the one who knew that. You knew that.
No,
Captain Marvel is from Marvel and DC.
Right.
And they're very, very different.
Right. Except they retconned Captain Marvel in DC. Yeah. Now they call him Shazam. which is so stupid.
Now they do, but even as
No,
like
you're right. You're right. Yeah.
like even in I think it's Young Justice, they still call him Captain Marvel.
No.
I'd have to double check. Maybe not. But
Only because there was a lawsuit.
Okay.
There was a lawsuit, and they finally settled it. And the lawsuit went on, I want to say, for like 10 or 15 years. It was bad. But regardless. Yeah. So the Super Friends wasn't a great TV show, and that was because they refused to treat comic fans like they knew what they were talking about.
Yeah.
In the meantime, during that same time period, in the comics, they're doing drug stories in DC Comics with Green Arrow and Green Lantern, dealing with drug addiction. It was insane to me that they just treated people like little kids. So
it's weird that way.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe. I don't quite think that's how that was sung there, Kurt, but we'll work on it.
Well, I wasn't. Okay, never mind.
Sure.
A little under my breath there.
Speaking of
Rock on podcast.
You're not a ventriloquist. It's cool, man. Real quick, this was not in my nerding out about, but I'll tell you a really good cartoon that does things the way I believe it should be is Harley Quinn on Max. And that is definitely a rated R cartoon. And but to me, villains should say villain things and do villain things. And it's still tongue in cheek. There's still a lot of lightheartedness to it, like you'd want out of a animated series. But they definitely drop the F-bomb and kill people, and it's a lot of fun though.
I like it.
It's so stupid cheesy. It's hilarious.
I do like Harley Quinn quite a bit. Except they made the one critical mistake from the very beginning of the season.
What's that?
Or series. And that is they did not cast Tara Strong.
Yeah, just because she's your friend. It's all right.
No, because she was a great Harley Quinn, and they only went with Kaylee Cuoco because she had star power.
She does a good Harley, I think.
She's
though.
fine.
It gives a different vibe to it.
She's fine.
It's good. Hey, yeah, I am nerding out about T-Mobile right now. That's my carrier. I am not nerding about the Samsung S23 Ultra and the hotspot on that thing for two same reasons. Now, tonight, Joe, you'll be familiar with this. I had an issue with internet a little while back, and I pulled out my, at the time, iPhone. No, I just froze on purpose just to screw you. Man. But no, screw you, Joe. But I pulled up my iPhone at the time and turned on the hotspot, and it was way faster than what I was being able to pull from the house with the distance I had. So tonight I was like, oh yeah, let me check my hotspot. So I did a speed test on my PC off the internet here based on the house. Good freeze, Kurt. Good on you. Yeah, why would we do that? So it's not so distracting. So for the podcast, I took him off the screen to break it. Anyway, I'll stop you, Joe. I'm not torrenting anything. Anyway, so I did a speed test on my computer. It's like almost 30 down, 30 up. Okay, cool. That's decent up. And let me do a speed test.
Not
on my
these
phone.
days, it's not.
Yeah, well, I know, right?
But it's okay. It's okay. Yeah,
it's all right. But I was like, let me do I don't think my phone will be much better. Oh, I said wrong. Sitting right here at this desk, I did a speed test on my T-Mobile device on this Samsung, and it was over 1,000 down at 600 up. I'm like, and I turn on the hotspot, and you guys are here for those tests. You know what I got on the hotspot? 30 down and 30 up. Like, what is going on?
So that's the limiting fact. The fact that you said you got a gig down and 600 up is a little puzzling to me, only because the cell towers can't really do those speeds reliably.
Well, it's probably, I don't know if it's reliable, but it came off of the app speedtest.net on the phone.
Yeah,
I'm doing another one real quick, but that just the fact that it could be even close to that was cool as crap.
And when you did
now, it's pushing. Okay, it's not reliable. It just dropped back down to, holy crap! It keeps dropping. Yeah, let's come back up. Let's come back up. Come on, baby. Come on, daddy. Come on, give me 500. Give me 600. Oh, give me 700. 800. Oh, 823. Oh,
Yeah.
there
So
we go.
turn off your Wi-Fi
On what?
on your phone.
I know my Wi-Fi is off on my phone because I had an issue earlier. I was on a meeting. So 75, that's straight sell. 823 down and 76 up right now.
That seems weird to me. But
But
good.
Yeah,
But-
so
but
I did a
it
quick
is
search
good.
because I was curious. I assume you have 5G, and so I was like,
Yeah.
what is the maximum speed for 5G?
Yeah.
And I'm getting like everybody and their mother has a different answer for
Of
this,
course, because
Yep.
there's no unification. There is no
Yeah.
universal standard.
but most people are saying up to 1 gig is the max, is what it's saying. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them.
But yeah, but the hotspot does not translate that. I might try a high-speed cable connected to see if that'll help. But yeah, I was just trying to do better. I haven't saved up my dollars to get the actual hard line run from the house to here. But yeah, I just thought it was pretty cool. Joe, you've got a thing in here.
I do indeed. So this past week, I watched a movie with my kids because they saw it on Netflix and wanted to watch it before it leaves Netflix because it's only there till the end of the month. The Boy Who Cried Werewolf. I don't know if you've ever seen this. It came out 13 years ago. It has Brooke Shields and Victoria Justice, if you know who that is.
I remember who Victoria Justice is. She would have been young at the time. Brooke Shields still would have been old.
Uh-huh. And it's about a family who inherits a castle in Romania from their long lost uncle Dragomir. And the city is known to have the Beast as its protector against vampires. It's super, super cheesy, made by Nickelodeon. But
Well, of course it was because it was Victoria Justice.
yeah, but my kids ended up really, really liking it. And I mean, that's
All right.
as long as it's entertaining, that's what it's meant to be, whether it's cheesy or not. And so, yeah, and they were very, very sad to find out that there wasn't a second one, even though they left it wide open for another one. But yeah, it was fun. And my kids are little scaredy cats. Like, they have nightmares all the time, and they don't like walking in their room when the light's off and stuff. So this is about as scary as I'm gonna show them.
So no Werewolf by Night.
No. So yeah, but it was fun, and they liked it a lot. I assume it's probably gonna bounce over to Paramount Plus after it's done on Netflix, because I think Paramount Plus has a bunch of Nickelodeon content. So that would be my guess.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's leaving Netflix at the end of the month. So there's a lot of fun.
I'll say a recommendation for family stuff is any version of Monster High. It's really good. The animated version was what came out first, and I watched it with my oldest daughter and then my youngest daughter. And I did see an ad for Paramount Plus where they have a live action version of that now.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, I found it interesting. And some of the kids stuff my kids watch is like, I just want to, not watch that. It's a nice way to put it. But Monster High was enjoyable. The last thing I'm nerding out about real quick.
I was just gonna say, while we're on my kids also really enjoyed Zombies. It's basically the zombie version of High School Musical.
Yeah, that's on Disney.
It's on Disney.
Yeah.
So they really liked those movies. It's a Disney Channel original movie, basically. I like it.
Yeah.
So
the villains, it's not called the villains. There's something about the kids of the villains that Disney did.
Oh, yeah. What is that called now?
I don't remember.
Descendants.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
Descendants. So I put down here the hustle, and I don't mean the dance. I'm nerding out about. I'll just do very, very brief highlights since last Thursday. Actually, before last Thursday, since last Tuesday, I've been moving into a new building because me through my company bought a new building, and it's amazing, and we're gonna do a lot of great stuff there. And then Tuesday night I did a show for Dragon Con DC Digital Media. We did the interview with Alon. I did talk to him. Then Wednesday night, I did one of the official Pride parties for Atlanta, and it did screens and projectors and slides for that. And when I say slides, I made the cards for the performers there, where you can do Venmo and Cash App and that kind of thing. And then Thursday I was here, and then Friday, honestly cannot remember what happened Friday and Saturday. I just don't remember. Oh no, I do remember Saturday. I don't remember Friday what I did, but Saturday was the big, huge, one of the big, massive Pride events that we went to. And I spent all day doing a big screen projector, and I rented a BenQ from Aperture Rent. And I'll tell you, any geek, you can get them all over the nation. It takes longer if you have to ship it, but being here in Atlanta, I was able to order it on Thursday and pick it up Friday. But and I think it's about $400 or $500. Is bought a new building gonna be friend of the show? Yeah, it is. Shut up, Joe. It's like going to Thanksgiving with you, man. Can't even. But I'm gonna tell you, renting from Aperture Rent is a great way to go if you want to test things out. And I think it was $60. Is I rented it for 7 days because I knew I was gonna be then going. So Saturday night, I did that all day Saturday, and then Sunday I loaded up the rest of my car and took off for Jekyll Island to do the EMS conference, and just nailed. I think I did 11 interviews on Monday, which was a half day for the conference, and another 11 interviews on Tuesday. And out of that, got invited to go guest lecture at 2 different schools and possibly come and talk with 2 different departments about what we do with One EMS. And then you came back yesterday. Today I was setting up my new office, which is going to have the One EMS studio inside of it as well. So it's just been a really busy time and fun, and just a lot of different creative avenues. And that's as far as I'll dive in, because I know we got a lot more to cover, but I'm happy to be back into that groove and in that flow again of just not just going from gig to gig, hoping to get $1, but going from opportunity to opportunity, going, what can I open up the door to do next? And that's been a blast.